really efficient, and he's making a lot of plays with his legs.
Well, trying to make one with his arm to Mike Evans, and right out of the gate, a first down picked up by the veteran receiver, a pickup of 12. They get the snap off on 3rd and 5. Mayfield steps up for Godwin, who has been a conversion machine for Tampa Bay.
Want to try to work to get free releases underneath.
Well, tempo from Mayfield, who whips it over the middle for Sterling Shepard, his old Oklahoma teammate, who he connected with for a touchdown in Atlanta 10 days ago. Fake to Tucker. Mayfield gets rid of it fast, and he finds Mike Evans, and into the red zone goes Tampa Bay on this opening drive. Pitch play, Bucky Irving's got space, and a cut, and a first down inside the 5-yard line as Lattimore tackles him near the 4. 4th-round pick out of Oregon. It's been their leading rusher. 1st and goal, Mayfield for Godwin. An impressive opening Tampa Bay drive leads to a touchdown for Chris Godwin.
A little beat up, some moving parts. He's going to have to create.
Right on cue, he rolls out to start the day, and he finds Jawan Johnson. And right away into Tampa Bay territory for the New Orleans Saints.
All 3 of those guys now missing action. A lot of moving parts. That's a challenge.
2nd and 15, another completion, but it was dropped by Chris Olave. It's picked up by Antoine Winfield back the other way. They let this play go all the way through, and Winfield takes it to the house.
They've got a great blitz package. Here we see it.
Bringing it against Rattler, who tosses it, and Bum Means able to snare that one and save the drive, unless it's ruled incomplete, and it was. Fake it to Sean Tucker, fake it to Chris Godwin, and throw it to Sterling Shepard. And a good gain on 1st down. Here comes Sean Tucker with a hole off the left and a 1st down into New Orleans territory. The undrafted free agent in his 2nd season picks up 11.
We got to pull it together.
Now a reverse, and a reverse flea flicker for Mayfield, who's going to have to check it down to Tucker, who gets away from Davis and picks up another 1st down for Tampa Bay in the red zone.
He's playing as well a quarterback at every level as you can.
Mayfield stepping up. He's excellent in the scramble game. Makes a move to get inside the 10 and set up a 3rd down and short situation.
Trying to mix up some man coverage.
Looking in that direction. Irving blocks Davis. A throw to the end zone for Evans, and it's incomplete. Certainly could have made a case for the flag. Instead, a chip shot for Chase McLaughlin, who starts his season of 11 for 11. And their leading receiver the last 2 seasons. On 3rd and 7, Rattler looking to convert. Flicks it out to the sideline, and this time, Bum Means is able to elevate against Zion McCollum.
Pick up a 1st down and now see if they can go finish with some points.
First catch for Bum Means in his NFL career. Rattler's going to go underneath to Means, so back-to-back grabs. This one for 8.
Take a play-action shot there on 2nd down. See if you can get an explosive.
Now Rattler trying to buy some time, and he's going to try to take off and slither his way to a 1st down into Tampa Bay territory. This is the type of play that Clint Kubiak and Dennis Allen was hoping he would have.
And that was a big reason why he's the quarterback.
Keeping the movement on the launch point, and a connection to Foster Moreau for another 1st down to the 31-yard line of Tampa Bay. 5 in the pattern for Rattler, and he's got a man waiting for it. Here's Kamara on the screen with a shoulder into Tyreek Funderburg, who is probably going to get a lot of run today. Can run or pass. It'll be a run for Kamara, and he gets swallowed up by Yaya Diaby.
The kid's playing well. Let him throw it.
Instead, they'll settle for a Blake Groupie field goal. He starts his season 9 for 9.
Something to monitor.
Screen, Godwin blown up by Davis.
Great field position here, and just gonna go cut into this deficit.
So Camarda boots it. 47-yard punt. Shaheed's got room. And there goes Rashid Shaheed. The spark that the Saints needed. It's a touchdown on the punt return.
Yeah, We thought it was going to be Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans. It's been everybody else.
Mayfield over the middle. It's picked off. It is Paulson Adebo inside the 15. Twists and turn after twists and turn. Another flag gets thrown at the end of the play.
He's had success finding his second read as a passer.
On 3rd and 7, Rattler stepping up, got grabbed, and Big Vita Vea will not let go.
Big stop there by this Tampa defense.
The interception by Adebo leads to 3 points for New Orleans. The first 17 belong to Tampa Bay.
After what's been probably an expected slow start considering.
Mayfield on that cross. It is off the hands of McMillan and picked off. Jonathan Abram up from the practice squad has Mayfield's second interception of the day. 2 picks first 5 games, 2 picks today. Rattler with the fake, the pump, the throw for the lead, a touchdown. It's the first for Bum Means in the NFL. And the Saints have marched back to take a lead. Second and long, right back out. It is Ryan Miller. Miller off the practice squad. He was in elevation today in his second NFL game. It would be his first NFL catch, but you have to check that penalty marker on the near side of the field.
Attacked, or it's OPI.
Be a 54-yard field goal from here. Mayfield is going to get yardage and a first down to Sean Tucker. Inside the 15 and all the way to the house. It's a touchdown. The first of Sean Tucker's NFL career.
I wonder if the officials miss one there.
Now 3rd down, Rattler. Scanning, rolling, pointing, throwing on the run. And up the sideline, a tight window for Bum Means and a catch near midfield and a first down. Fake it to Kamara. Rattler looking downfield. He's got a man up the middle and Morrow. First and goal for New Orleans is Rattler with the deep strike. Sets up the Saints inside the 10. Kamara slicing through and New Orleans regains the lead.
Try to get it off here before the 2-minute.
They will. Mayfield fires it. It's caught by Godwin. He has been so good on 3rd down this season, and he's got the first down into New Orleans territory. Jonathan Abram was down on the field, and Mayfield patting the feet. That's deflected and picked off into the hands of Cam Jordan. Brian Brzee tipped it into the air, and Cam Jordan has the interception.
Obviously, we want to get the first down. If not, you can throw it short of the sticks, get a completion.
Pressure coming, hit as he throws. Wobbler in the air, nearly picked off by McCollum. Antoine Winfield this time. New Orleans has been the second best 3rd down team in the NFL this year behind the Commanders. 3 for 7 in the first half. Looking for a conversion to Johnson, and they got it. Down inside the 40-yard line of Tampa Bay. It's a pickup of 19 to Juwan Johnson.
That's not really what they want to be, regardless of the quarterback.
Blitz coming. Rattler throws it. Looking for a first down to Means, who had it, lost it, picked up by McCollum. Second time we've seen a play just like this.
He's got 3.5 sacks on the season. I mean, they can use him up around the line of scrimmage.
Evans on the near side. Mayfield looking for him, and it's overthrown. The coverage from Paulson Adebo. An Auburn guy and an Alabama guy teaming up for a sack. Whoever would have thought.
Football unites.
2nd and 19, and they're getting after Rattler yet again. This time, it's Kalijah Kancey, who had 4 sacks as a rookie last year. He is into the backfield to get a second one on Rattler here.
Tyrann Mathieu for the Saints. He's got a forearm, and it's 50-50.
Thanks so much for those updates, Pam. Here is Tucker, and he's got the first down.
I'm sorry, Adebo picks him off, and then the other one's just 2 bad deflections.
Mayfield sees nothing downfield, so he takes off, and he slides past the sticks to the 30-yard line. He's got a first down. Right back to Tucker. So Tucker's getting some run, and that's a good run. Picks up 10. Godwin in motion. Fake it to Irving. Out to Godwin. In space, and he picks up the first down and pinballs his way inside the 40 and off to the races. Chris Godwin's second touchdown of the day, and Tampa Bay is back out in front.
Offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak mentioned when we asked him who they could get more from.
Blitz coming on Rattler, threw off his back foot for Kamara, who could not snare it with Tyke Smith. Mayfield steps away from the pressure, but Willie Gay is right there to wrap him up and knock him down. Twist up front for New Orleans. Taylor could not bring Mayfield down the first time. Gets away the second time. Young is chasing Mayfield. Now he's on the move, and he gets tumbled down, shy of the sticks. Lost the ball, but he's going to be rolled down by contact. Now it's Kamara on 2nd and 3, and he looked like he got enough for the first down to the 28-yard line. Tampa Bay leads New Orleans in this key NFC South meeting. Fresh set of downs for Rattler, and a flick downfield, and it is picked off! Zion McCollum was waiting for his moment. He finally takes one away. Then he loses the ball inside of the 45-yard line. To Tampa Bay inside the New Orleans 45. They'll just be happy with possession. And Bucky Irving with a couple of stiff arms takes it right back inside the 45 and then some. Baker Mayfield putting a shoulder into Lattimore as Bucky Irving goes all the way down inside the 30.
In the lineup, and he's made the most of his opportunities.
Now it's Tucker, who's had a big game today. He gets past Lattimore. Abram runs him out inside the 10, and it's 1st and goal for the Bucs. And now that late flag comes in. 4-man rush. Mayfield in the pocket, throws end zone. It's caught by Otten for the touchdown. Mayfield, screen, Irving can't get it. So it's still a 10-point game. Good read by Carl Granderson that time. And Jerry World. 3rd and long for Rattler, who's rolling to his left, is going to launch it for Shaheed, and it's taken away but out of bounds as the catch was made by Funderburg. Fake it, then give it to Shepard. Cade Otten with a nice block to open things up for Sterling Shepard, tight-roping the sideline, and he's out of bounds inside of New Orleans territory. 24-yard run for Shepard to set him up at the 43 of the Saints. Give it to Tucker, and another good run, and Tucker takes it down to the 30-yard line. Tristan Wirfs off the left side, doing what Tristan Wirfs does, moving guys out of the way. 200, a season high for the game after 160 last week. Here's Tucker, and it's guys like Tucker. Shepard just had a run on that little misdirection. Mayfield, screen, Irving. He's got blockers in front. He's got to get to the 10-yard line. He does! They convert 3rd down and 16. The clock will keep moving, and it's 1st and goal for Tampa Bay.
Let's make it that much more challenging now. It's going to be a 3-possession game.
Well, they'll try to cash it in with Irving, and this time easily in. It is a touchdown. Rattler back to work. Outside, it is caught. It is Mason Tipton making the grab. The rookie out of Yale with his 6th NFL catch. It's a gain of 15.
If it's given Spencer Rattler and this Saints offense a lot of trouble, just going back now to bringing 4.
And pressure still got there as they get the first down.
If it's going to be a heavy run game, there's a lot of factors.
That's a toss into the arms of a waiting Tyke Smith, and the rookie looking for his first career interception on what has been a nice 2-week stretch for the 3rd-round pick out of Georgia. He's got the pick.
Close out the game in the 4th quarter.
3 first-half turnovers for Tampa Bay. But it's been their defense getting it going in the second half, and the run game as well. Big gain, Sean Tucker.
Those different elements that are taken into consideration come end of the season.
Tucker first down.
He's been really good, really efficient here in the second half, and it's really been this ground game. The run game in the second half has been the story for Tampa Bay.
We're en route to jumping into first place for the moment. Rattler tripped up. That'll close it out. 51-27. Tampa Bay with the win. They bounce back.